Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our very tall Sicily campaign. I am Ben the Bold. You are you. Let us go ahead and get started. Now, for those of you who may not have had much experience with this, let's just go over briefly what we're doing here. We are the nation of Sicily, and our goal is to build up as tall a nation as possible without necessarily expanding outside of this island. Now, I will admit, when I first started the playthrough, I figured, well, I'm just going to go through and gain a whole bunch of big cities and see what happens. See if I can play a mostly peaceful campaign, maybe getting that megapolireme, or that military tradition, here it is, that enables the slave raid ability with your navy. However, that's not really how we've done this so far. Instead, we actually have a ton of tributaries and feudatories. We've been at war a lot, and we've actually are in 2 wars right now. I started out the episode both highlighting the Carthaginian coast as well as my island. That is because we are finally at war with Carthage again. Now, they maintain a huge superiority in a lot of things. First and foremost, their manpower. They have a huge manpower reserve. They have a just huge number of cohorts, and they have more than twice the number of boats we have. So, we are in a little bit of a pickle. Fortunately, a bunch of our feudatories have joined in with us, so that helps, and in fact, it helps us even out the manpower spread quite a bit, although they do still outnumber us on the navy side. Now, this war is specifically for this little tract of territory. This is one of my feudatories. Carthage wants this land. They want to connect these two parts of their country together. I want to protect my feudatory. I have no option. I must protect my feudatory. We are also caught in a war over here. Now, this was a war of Sicilian aggression, and while I do think that it is definitely an easily winnable war, although because we have not captured the war goal, which is this province right here, because we have not captured this war goal, we have taken a ticking war score. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to lose this war. I am going to need all hands on deck, all my reserves mobilized to defend the island of Sicily itself, and then we will see what we can accomplish in defending our allies. But I'm going to go ahead and retreat my armies. They were fighting a battle. It was probably going to be a losing battle, but they were fighting a battle here in Crete. I'm going to retreat them back onto their ships and hope that my 147 boats can safely make it back to Sicilian shores. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I have some capital import routes that I can... well, actually, I don't have anything I can use. Maybe I'll actually move some slaves around from one of my bigger cities into... Let's see, some fort defensiveness up would be nice. Let's see what this province needs. So it actually has a surplus of stone. It could deal with a surplus of wine. What would I get with a surplus of wine in the capital? Where's my wine? There it is. So, surplus in capital. Army maintenance costs minus 5%. Yes. That's good. So you produce wine. You just would need... Oh, you're a city, aren't you? Alright, so you would need more slaves. Well, we can deal with that. Anywhere else? Hopefully, in this war, we'll be taking lots of slaves that we can distribute along to most of our cities. Any other good provinces? No, we produce a lot of stone and grain here in Sicily. Oh, you produce wine. So I'm actually probably trading away wine. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, I'm trading away a lot of wine. Let's go ahead and cancel the wine export to you. And instead, import wine to myself. That will help our army maintenance, decrease our army maintenance by a little bit. Excuse me while I get a quick glass of water. Alright, so let's continue on. Unpause the game. We've loaded this army into ships, and now let's move these vessels back to Syracuse. Now, I am terrified of what the Carthaginian navy can do, although I want to be a thorn in their side as much as I possibly can. That is going to involve quick raids, maybe. onto their coastline. Who knows? I actually did just go raiding their coast for slaves. They might be of a mind to say that, like, hey, you can't raid our coast for slaves without us getting a little upset about it, fighting a war. I am, unfortunately, I guess I'm going to probably just take the loss on the Sicilian Argosian war. The thing is, I don't actually have to piece them out. They will be pieced out in a year and a half or so, just because I am getting that little white piece imminent marker. This is what scares me. They have 35,000 men here, 17,000 men here. We don't have any army that can defend this as of yet. This Emporium army really needs to just make contact with its own territory so that it isn't going to be black flagged, but its morale is not good. The Massalians aren't able to help. We don't know where their fleet is. Our fleet is healing up, but we're going to try something. It's a little audacious. It's a little scary, but we're going to land, put these mercenaries into these boats, and we are going straight to Carthage itself. Let's just first make sure that our look at this fleet. It's huge. Let's just make sure that we have some megapolaremes that haven't taken any damage. Yep, it looks like this whole fleet is 100% all the way across. So, let us take this just monster of a fleet. Of course, their fleet's bigger. We have loaded some soldiers in to the fleet, and now let us go to Carthage itself. This is a risk, because we might lose the whole fleet to a naval engagement. But we're going to hope, beyond hope, that they have placed most of their fleet up here, or maybe it's docked in one of these ports and not Carthage itself. You might be smarter to have just sent like one ship to scout ahead. Again, it might have been smarter to send one ship to scout ahead a little ways, but what we are going to try to do is naval invade Carthage, the capital city itself. Ooh, actually, you know what? Let's put you back. I'm going to use, instead of the mercenaries, I'm going to use these soldiers of 10,000 men, 10,000 horsemen. They are going to be nice and fast. We're going to get some manpower. Perfect. We are wasting valuable time, though. We don't know where their fleet is now, but we hope it's not right here in Carthage. They haven't seen us, though, so they don't know what we're planning, hopefully. I'm going to land those mercenaries, and instead of using the mercenaries, I'm actually going to use this army of 10,000 horsemen. The reason is they can get on and off of these boats a little quicker, plus they siege down a province just as fast. Now you might be saying, well, yeah, but they can't assault a fort or anything. They only siege down undefended forts, and Carthage obviously has a fort. Well, it hopefully won't have a fort once I'm done with it. I am going to go and try to use one of the megapolaremes to completely smash their fort. Yeah, I said it. Let's try to smash their fort. Now, this only works if their navy is not in Carthage itself. I'm a little worried about this storm. As I said, I'm a little worried about this storm. I'm a little worried about just where the Carthaginian navy is. The second I see it, I might have to retreat as fast as I can. We have a strong navy, but it is not the strongest navy in the Mediterranean. It's definitely strong for our size, and it actually, in our war with Rome, yes, we have fought Rome. As you can tell, one of our feudatories actually owns Latium. Rome itself is not owned by Rome. Rome is owned by me, well, one of my feudatories. I like to call me and my feudatories and tributaries the Sicilian League. I think that that is an excellent name for it. We still have made no contact with their fleet. It looks like we have soldiers ready to march in. Oh, and it looks like we are going to fight a naval battle. That worries me. Oh, it's just these 13,000. And we're actually not going to fight them. So they have 13 ships there. I'm going to do it. I'm going to land these 9,000 men. And I I'm gonna hit this button. Yes, I have hit the button. Carthage no longer has a fort. It's fort level of 0. I have moved my 9,000 men in. They have no army to defend it. I don't see their navy on the horizon. We are going to send... Okay, so these 38,000 men are coming in, but I don't think they're going to get there in time. Yeah. We have taken Carthage. We're not going to hold it, but we have pillaged Carthage. Let's see. After the siege of Carthage, Stilpon Leoslinid troops run riot, resulting in murder, rape, and theft. Oh, no. Oh. Well, that's a shame. I mean, this is war, and these aren't real people. These are just little computer people, but still. Murder, rape, and theft. Oh, no. Of course, we are literally just going around the Mediterranean at times, taking as many slaves as possible and sending them back to Sicily, so I guess I can't feel that bad. The wealth that Stilpon has gained from this evil act is beyond compare, and our advisors suggest that he is now one of the richest people in our land. Even deserters previously resident in Carthage are flocking to join Stilpon. Despite his popular acclaim, we should consider punishing him for these dastardly actions. Let's take a look at what just happened to Carthage. Let's also see if Stilpon... Yep, Stilpon. If he can get out of there, yes, he can. We have just taken Carthage, and we're not going to suffer a single thing for it. Oh my goodness. I guess we must have destroyed some buildings or something, because would you look at that? Their population capacity is in the tanks. I really regret not looking at seeing what their, how many pops were in the city before this happened. I don't know how many slaves we just moved over. Let's see. We could let it go, where Stilpon would gain 5 loyalty, and he would gain a unit of light infantry loyal to him. Okay. Alright, I actually don't want that to happen, because I don't want his army to be slowed down at all. So I'm going to insist on an Oath of Allegiance. His loyalty is going to drop by 20. That's okay, he's still going to be at 59 loyalty. But I don't want him to get those light infantry, because that will slow down his movement speed and might allow that 38,000 man army to catch him. And I love the idea of being able, we came in. Ooh. Oh, do you know what I didn't think about? I guess this fleet will have to come and join our fleet in battle, which is going to put a kibosh on him, on Stilpon, being able to move. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. I'm still going to just say, insist on the Oath of Allegiance. So yeah, our army is actually able to land because, okay, we destroyed that fleet so quickly. And would you look at that, we just took Carthage. I don't know how many slaves we took. I mean, let's look at Syracuse. I mean, there's definitely 23 Carthaginian pops in Syracuse alone. Let's take a look at the whole province in general. All right, 24 Carthaginian pops. So, I mean, we had to have done a number. I really regret not looking and seeing what Carthage was at before. Although Carthage is in a world of hurt right now, their pop capacity, and this is probably just because, this is because they are owned by me, and I own no other provinces here. So when they take it back, that pop capacity should probably go back up again. But either way, what a successful little raid by our 10,000 cavalry. They're going to go back to Lilybæum, and while that may not be the decisive action of the war, that is definitely a Sicilian victory, and one that we really needed after our embarrassment over on Crete and our inability to protect our allies on the other side of the Mediterranean. We're going to let our ships heal up and then actually probably ready a similar raid, maybe at another port city of Carthage. Carthage is going to... Okay, there is 57,000 men here and 315. So let's keep an eye on that. In this case, I know that I was upset that Rhegium and Hipponia did not join this war, but In fact, it's probably a good thing that they didn't, because I could not protect... I would not be able to protect Sardinia or Corsica. There's nothing I can do that would be able to... if, for instance, they landed troops here, their navy is so strong that I would not be able to go and land troops on Sardinia or Corsica. So, in fact, it was actually probably a good thing that Hipponia and Rhegium did not join the war. I wanted all of you to join the war, which most of you did. The people I didn't really care about, they all seemed to join very enthusiastically. Probably because they're not worried about Carthage naval invading them. We'll have to see what happens. They just had a huge fleet of 315 ships, as well as a bunch of troops. Oh, there it is. Right there. I'm hoping that this is because they are all of a sudden worried about us invading Carthage itself. That might be a little much for us at the current moment. I don't really see us invading Carthage. In fact, maybe the next place I see us taking and just trying to do some slave raiding would be the little settlement of Eurymina. But I would like to think that they had to recall all these troops from the front, the more important front up here, which actually I might be making some progress on. It looks like our loyal allies, the Hipponians, have actually defeated a Carthaginian army, so that is good. It would be great if I could land some troops. It would be a little much if I could land some troops. What I need is for... Where are you going? Can I see that? No. What I need is for, like, the Massalians to help. I don't guess you've given access to any of our people. No. Can I ask for access? No, they don't like me. That's the Aravini. They are a strong power. They actually... I would love to see the AI unite Gaul. Obviously, that would involve them kicking me out of some places, I think. I'm not actually 100% sure which provinces you have to have, or which settlements you have to have to unite Gaul, but I would love to see the AI actually do it. In the meantime, we're going to keep an eye out. It's actually good. I like to know where their fleet is. It looks like it's to the south. Looks like it's going to take on just a very small fleet of my feudatories' ships. We have a martial advancement. Anything good? Morale of navies is good. Army attrition minus 10%. I will take that, as well as siege engineers. Let's go ahead and take those now. Any other good inventions that I might think about taking? No. I'm not particularly worried about them landing on Sicily. I have my allies to help. I also have, you know, about 100,000 men sitting on Sicily, ready to defend it till the last. Again, it's only going to be about 130 days until we are forced into a white peace on Crete. That's not ideal, but it is, I guess, as they say, what it is in this specific case. We all of a sudden were interested in something a little more important, and that is defending our allies. As well, it would be great if we could even push the Carthaginians back into the sea. Our allies are doing wonderfully. It would be huge if we could maybe take some territory away from the Carthaginians in Gaul. Of course, we will have to compete with the Arvini. Looks like the Olympic Games are happening. Don't really want to send the guy who's in jail. Oh, he's actually my rival. Well, no, let's keep my rival in jail. We'll send a researcher. That means we need a new researcher. You look pretty good. You are losing a little bit of loyalty, but it's nothing terrible. Even with the mercenaries hired, we're gaining money per month. So we can actually afford more mercenaries. I'm going to try not to do that, because I... Oh, look at you. Do I dare send my fleet out of harbor to try to take on a... an enemy fleet? We can get another friend. I'll take all the friends I can get. I love having friends. So I am specifically going to try to chase down this little fleet of 13 ships. Because, hey, that's more positive war score, plus it does hurt Carthage at least a little bit. I know these are not Carthaginian ships, but unfortunately they might be faster than me. This also might be a ploy to, well, I doubt the AI is that smart. I would love it if it was a ploy to take my ships away. Oh, we have accepted that white piece, so whoop-de-doo. Of course, we have ports up here that we can dock our vessels in. Alright, so I'm not sure I'm going to catch them. I'm going to go ahead and come back down. Probably not to Lilybaeum. Let's go right there. It's a little bit more... Okay. Here they come. Alright. So they are taking attrition for the stormy seas. They're going to try to land here. This is not defended by a fort. So we're going to lose this. It's only 25,000 men. If that army would just turn around, this army isn't going to be able to get there in time. Alright, so maybe I spoke too soon about how I said I didn't think the AI was smart enough to... I don't really want to have my ships just suicide into theirs. I'm going to have to pull off these 10,000 men. Oh, they actually... That's not where they're going. They're not trying to land. Alright. Well, as I said, one of the bright spots about having help up here is that I have ports in this region. I can reverse course with my fleet. Now, obviously... Oh! We're going to take a fight! Okay. Alright, what can I do to help this fight out? They are vastly outnumber us. As soon as the fight starts going poorly, I need to retreat. I'm going to take a loss. It was probably a bad idea to ever bring my fleet out of port. I just thought I could take them, you know? Let's bring you back to Syracuse. It says that we have a chance, but it does think that they will win. Our fleet has higher morale than theirs. The terrain is to our benefit. They just have a stronger fleet. It's unclear which side will win. I mean, let's see what happens, right? This could be a game changer if we could win this. It could be detrimental, of course, if we lose. Is there anything that I can do to help our cause? Specifically, frontal assault. Damage versus... Let's check out our different options. It looks like harassment is our best bet. Of course, that doesn't give us any bonus to the Megapolium units. Okay, but they have a huge number of those little ships. So I actually bet that they are going to be in the harassment stance. And so in that case, I think it would be best if we were... Because I don't think they'll be in close ranks. Although, I don't know, maybe, because they have 107... I don't think they'll be in close ranks. I think that they... I think frontal assault is actually our best bet. Let's try to run away. We're not going to get out. Alright. Here is it. Alright, so they were in frontal assault, so we should have tried something else. We have the advantage with some of these, like, very large ships, like this Megapolareme, it has a huge advantage against like the Tetrier that is right ahead of it. However, it's just having swarms of these things, these Liburnians, that's not a terrible way to do it, and they have a ton of these Tetriers. I mean, let's see who wins. There's nothing I can do at this point to change it. Looks like our morale is degrading a little faster than theirs. It doesn't seem like either side has lost any ships. We're going to gain some popularity. We have actually gained some ships. They have lost some ships. Alright, so our battle line is still holding strong, but again, they just have so many. Of course, at this point, here's the good thing. The combat width, like, nulls the... I mean, we have a full row, so the combat width nullifies their huge extra advantage. Okay, the Heraclean Path. We get an update. Catane gets a huge influence. We can either lose some stability or lose some money. I actually want to hold on to the money, so I'm going to lose the stability. Alright, we lost some ships there. Oh, and a lot of those were the Megapolaremes. We are actually zeroed on the Megapolaremes. So this fight just got a lot fairer and not exactly in our favor. Actually, it just got a lot less fair because they outnumber us in all other categories. We really needed those things to do more damage than they did. I just hope that they retreated and didn't sink. Alright, they're going to take a heavy loss on this tick. Unfortunately, they have the heavier die roll. Yeah, they're getting really good die rolls. Our morale... Oh, this is finally a die roll in our favor. Doesn't really seem to matter. Again, I'm hoping that a lot of our ships are retreating instead of... Ooh, that was a good tick for us. Even on the die rolls, though. Alright, that's not a good... Alright, and so now is when our line, I think, is going to start to crumble. We just don't have the number of ships to hold on with them. And so I am going to go ahead, because I can, let's go ahead and retreat this navy. I don't want it to be just a complete blowout. Let's go back to Syracuse. We're going to take some losses. But let's check it out. So, we lost 87 ships. They lost 11? What? Alright, so that was a mistake. We lost all of our heavy ships. They're all gone. So it's going to be quite some time before we are back at the naval strength that we need to be. And they're going to land... Ooh, that was smart of them. They're going to land in Latium. They wouldn't take a white piece, not yet. Oh well, we knew we were going to lose any fight at sea. We still hold the war goal, though. The war goal is up here. We are actually gaining territory in the north. So that's good. We are pushing their armies out. That's good. That army is retreating. I wonder if the Romans would let us pass. Probably not. No, they're pretty upset with us, I think. We will get a white peace imminent in 725 days. It's a long time from now. I think their navy has actually probably left. So while I know my navy is no longer necessarily the army or the fighting force that it once was, I think I'm going to go ahead and land take these mercenaries and try to take them to relieve some of the pressure in... as long as their navy decides to go this way around... It would have been smarter for them to protect their forces. It's a little risky because I'm taking 50,000 troops and taking them away from Sicily. So that's a little risky indeed. I also don't really see a reason to keep my fleet down here in Sicily. It's not like they can defend against the Carthaginian power. I really think any other fleet in the world we could have fought to a stalemate. I mean, maybe not the Egyptians. The Egyptians always have a very strong fleet. 253 though, and we had a pretty good fleet. The Phrygians, they sometimes have pretty good fleet. No, they don't have a single ship at the moment. Yeah, any other power in the world, I think we could have crushed them at the seas. Unfortunately, we took a huge loss there. Oh well. In this case, I think I'm just going to have my navy chill here for a little while. Let's go ahead and crush the army that they landed in Latium. If they want to come and fight us on land, we can beat them on land. Speaking of beating them on land, here we go. They have the tactics advantage, but we have an advantage at almost everything else. They are going to lose massive numbers, as are we, but ours are mercenaries. I'm not really worried about them. Of course, they have so much manpower that they don't really have to worry about their numbers as well. This should hopefully make up for some of the war score that we surely lost when our navy lost at sea. He gains the Conqueror trait, good. We are victorious. They lost a little less than 1,000 more men than I did. And they are going to have nowhere to retreat to. So we hopefully will be able to just smash them. And stack wipe said army. Yes, indeed, their army is stack wiped. Their general has been captured. That army is done? Was this a... He's the head of a Phrygian family? What was he doing in Carthage? Huh. Very interesting. I want to know his story. I want to know his story. But he has been captured by the Sicilians. I'm going to go ahead and march back. We'll try to land these 37,000 men back in Sicily proper. So while we lost at sea, that was a resounding victory on land. Speaking of resounding victories on land, the Emporiums have shown that they are not to be trifled with. Let's go ahead and get the national tax rate. I'm going to have to use some of the money in my treasury to rebuild my fleet after all. You're not going to worry about that until the end of the war, however. I could take these 38,000 men and bring them around the northern coastline. Maybe even come down here. Am I at war with you? Yeah, I'm at war with you. I could try to take you as a tributary. A little island tributary. But no, this war is about survival, although the Emporiums, they want to gain some territory, and I can't say I don't blame them. We're going to try to give them some territory, that's for sure. I just hope that in the future, they remember this. They remember that I fought for them. The Sicilian League came to their aid when they had their darkest moment, when Carthage was at the gates. The Sicilian League came to their aid and lost a good chunk of its navy for it. But we will do that for our allies. We will. We just expect loyalty in return, which unfortunately we have not really gotten from some of our allies. We have a lot of disloyal subjects. It's a thing, it happens, it's fine. Our war score continues to tick up. Also, we control the target of the target of the war. So actually, no, our ticking war score is done. We are not getting any more ticking war scores. So let's see. Current war score, mostly just from a lot of occupation. They seem to have most of the war score via battle, though. I mean, is that how that works? Do I get any war score via battle? Surely. We've had 18 of our pops killed. How have they only had 3 of their pops killed? We captured Carthage, dadgummit. Like, we captured Carthage. Sure, we gave it back very quickly. But we captured Carthage. So they would take a white piece. Could I take anything off of them? Like, if I give all of this province... Yeah, so all of this province to Emporium. Or better yet, all of this province. Excuse me while I click some buttons real fast. I don't think the Carthaginians will take any deal where I actually gain land. But we can give it a shot. Interesting. No, so they won't take that deal. They don't like it very much at all. We could still maybe get the... I'm just worried that as this war goes on, I don't have any more land that I can easily occupy. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I think I'm going to leave that for the next time, though. We will peace out with Carthage. Well, at least we'll try to. This war has gone remarkably well. I'm actually very excited about the direction it's gone. We did lose half our navy. We kind of expected that if we were to engage their navy that we would lose. It is a shame how it worked out. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I woke up this morning really excited to play some Imperator Rome, especially the Very Tall Sicily campaign. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.